to everything else. You have sniper rifles, self-explanatory, machine guns, self-explanatory, faster and weaker, basically is the only difference between that and assault. Gatling guns, stronger than machine, bigger magazine obviously. Shotguns, handguns, you have bazookas and grenade rifles and railguns. Laser rifles, more powerful ones, plasma rifles. The Kojima, I'll explain in a minute, which is this. You have physical blades, which is like a 1 or 2 hit kill, but they really are not good. They are almost impossible to hit with. Laser blades, because you can't have a Japanese game without swords of any kind, and they're awesome. Not super hard to hit with. Kojima blades, again, go into that later. And you have missiles and rockets for your hands. The rockets kind of suck, because they can't, my bad. Rockets. You can't lock on. You have to aim yourself, so it's really just very difficult. You have multiple different kinds of missiles. I don't even want to get into it. Just like vertical, straight on, explode near the target to do area of effect, scatters. If I didn't say spreads yet, I then spreads, auto-seeking. You have grenade cannons, and where is the grenade cannon? Oh, sniper cannons there. Chain guns, Gatling guns. One shotgun back weapon in the game. Voice crack. Grenade cannons, you have a very specific to a certain character, and it's kind of impossible to see the full thing when it's not on your armored core. But it's very gigantic. Unfolds like 4 times. Rail cannons, lasers, plasma, just the same, Kojima again, and then radars and all that. Shoulders not really too specific, mainly just chain missiles to add onto a missile strike. Your hanger for when you run out of ammo on your arms. Your head, core, arms, and legs, and they're lightweight, middleweight, don't like the way they're organized, heavyweight. There are some reverse joints, let you jump and be in the air for more. Jump higher and be in the air for more. Quad legs and tanks. Quad legs are good for sniping and not recoiling when you fire like a heavy grenade cannon or sniper cannon. The tank is similar but has more defense and is more grounded. Your FCS, which is basically just how quickly you can lock on, how far, and how decent your radar is. Generator, how long you can stay in the air, how quickly energy recovers, and how much energy you have. The KP output is Kojima, which is basically not completely a shield. Kojima in the generator produces a shield for you, lessens the impact of weapons by a lot, but it goes down pretty quickly. You can whittle it down easily. Kojima weapons does the opposite. It tears down. It's basically radiation. It's just toxic waste, but like gaseous, and you can use it if you can control it. Boosters, this one's for speed, basically, for sustaining your flight, for moving side to side, and this one's for like the super speed boost, I guess. And you can also have assault armor, which are these. They're slower, but they have a good, strong attack, but it leaves you vulnerable because your primal armor, which is Kojima, will not recharge for a while, leaving you vulnerable. You can tune certain things to have more or less in certain areas. This is a pretty decent build. Stabilizers, like the 2 plates you see right in the middle of the screen right now, on the top of the legs. Stabilizers makes them heavier to the front, and you can have some for the head, like you see there. You can paint it, but I don't feel like going through all that. The shop, but I already have everything, so there's no real reason to show it. But you can buy and sell parts, or you can keep all your designs, and this is one of my best. You can test it against AIs, but the AIs you can test against aren't very good. And you can change the regulations in here and color the cockpit. I'll change it back to white, just for sake of easy to follow. You can also change regulations. Missiles are overpowered, missiles are less powerful, and everything is a little bit lighter or heavier. Unlimited energy, and that's about it. And then this is the one the game wants to start you on. And then from here it slows down the game little by little for these two. and makes it a little bit more balanced. 1.40 is also the multiplayer regulations. And speaking of that, the multiplayer is basically dead. Completely. Like, I've only ever seen one person in the last 2 weeks, other than myself on, and we didn't do anything. I really hope if this video is seen by a lot of people, we can get the multiplayer back up and running, because it was so amazing. This partnership thing here, if anyone decides to get it, is co-op online. And I'll play it and help you. I really don't mind. I enjoy this game a lot. You can go back and play missions in free play for the normal difficulty, which is what you always play when you're playing through the story. The only way to play hard is through here, and it unlocks FRS memory for tuning, which I showed you, and sometimes weapons, and it usually adds another bunch of enemies. And then the order matches would normally, I'll actually show you that first. It says Chapter 2 up top, there's 4 chapters, and the clients on the bottom really don't matter too much who you pick, because you're just doing missions. It just adds depth to the game. And down, if you can see all the, like under the 800,000, there's that space, gray line, and then 2 more spaces. The very bottom one right above the picture would be where order matches are, which are for 30 of them, this being number 1 of the 30, and all the way down here, he's the last one of the 30. Of the League, Collard. The League are not... There's really no good guys in this game, because of the way everything is. I don't really feel like getting into it or spoiling in case people get it. But basically, without spoiling too much, they built cradles, which are gigantic. 20 million people can fit in them. Gigantic bi-wing planes, I think they're called. And there usually are a bunch of them per cradle, so they can house a few planes for like 60 million to even 200. And the League built and protect them. These 12, starting with him being the top and the leader, down to him, aren't necessarily bad guys either. They just see things in a different light. But all 12 of them are comparable to the top 5 of Collard, so that's why they're such a threat. And there's also one, if anyone's played Armored Core 4 but not this game, they also still white glint, but it looks so much different. It used to look more like the one I'm using now. And you know what? I will show you some gameplay, a little sooner than I was expecting to, but it's already 9 minutes it looks like. It's a very fast-paced game, even for slow-moving Armored Cores, but it's very fun. And it really requires reflex, but I don't think it needs to be explained past what I've already said. And just also, this is regular boosting. You'll see, like, the little puff of energy, but if you want a second stage, you see, like, a big thing of light coming beyond normal. Alright, and time to kick his ass. By the way, the thin bar at the top is your energy currently available to you, and every time I fire my left weapon, since it's a laser weapon, it drains some energy, so it's best to stay on the ground for me. And the big fat bar is how much primal armor I have, which means how much damage will be shaved off my incoming damage, obviously. The laser weapon does not need to reload since it comes from your energy bar, however, my assault rifle does. And I'm doing pretty bad right now because I haven't played this for a few days. Plus, this mech really needs some extra fine-tuning. I kind of didn't do the greatest job with it. These PM missiles are very hard to dodge, and then that's a grenade cannon. That recoil, right there where I kind of can't move, is because this is a lightweight, but I really do need the extra firepower on something like this. And it's kind of hard to focus on making a video and playing this at the same time. But and as just as a extra incentive, I don't want to say incentive, but as an extra thing to think about if anyone considers this game, is I have a friend that is not very into these kinds of games whatsoever, and he really did love it. Like, he had a lot of fun playing it. And finishing blow, Normally, it's